Okay, today we're going to be learning about the mochin, what they look like of Ima. I'm going to bring some more light onto this so we can really see it. How's that look? Not too bad. And these are the mochin, the four sets of mochin: Chochma, Bina, Chasad v'das, Gevurah v'das. So we'll see that in a minute as the shiur starts. This is Baruch Fleischman. We'll see some Tariches in the Sharkabonos Inyan Tzitzit. So we kind of a little bit gone afield of just looking at tzitzis. So let's see what we got here. Now we're on the bottom of the page, reading on the reading the words of the Rav Shemos Moach HaChochma De'ima. So now we're going to be going to Chochma De'ima, and in the Eitz Chaim the Lim Soehem, then we see over here. This is all in the pink on the bottom, and we'll see. We'll start on the right side, which is the Chochma of Ima. That would be number Kuf Lamed Daled. Kuf Lamed Daled starts like this. Well, let's just read it. These are the mochin of Ima. Mul Chochma de Ima Arba Ekia. It's going to be four different Ekias. These four right here. And I'm showing a little bit on my video the Mim Soehem. So the mochin de Ima Mul Chochma de Ima Arba Ekia. It's going to be four Ekias. Shnaim de Yudin, there's going to be two of them that are going to be Ekias de Yudin. That's Ekia, which is Kasa Kaman Kana, what Rabbi Mimram said. So he said the Echad, the Halafim, and then there's going to be two of them going to be of Yudin, one of the Halafim, the Echad, the Hain. And then he shows it to us. The Chachma looks like this, the Bina looks like that, the Chesed looks like this, and the Gevurah looks like that. Then you're going to move over to the opposite side. Is going to be the, he says the Shemos Muach Habina de Ima. Now he says that these are their names, right? So these are actually them. They're the outside part, I guess, like you say, like the names with the letters hold the light. Or the light is refracted through them. Muach Habina de Ima al Seder Nizkar goes the same way. Other Shehem Mishlosha Osius Aki. Kazan, in other words, it starts out, but it only goes with three letters. And then he says, here's three letters from Chochma, right? It's a Milui of Yudin. And then Bina is also a Milui of Yudin. Chesed goes the same way, but it's a Milui of Hayin. And he says the Gevurah is a Milui of double Hay. Excuse me, first one is Hey Aleph, and this one is Hey. So let's see what else we have here. Then he says, let me just show that here, that would be like this, and the differences are two Hey Yuds in the middle, and then the last two mochin change. Then he shames Muach Chasad the Das the Ima. There's going to be four mochin here. Muach Chesed the Ima, Gedugmas Muach Chesed the Abba. It's very similar as the Muach Chesed the Abba. It's these olives like this, and there they are, except there's going to be some changes, and let's see what he says. He says it's like Abba, the Chesed the Abba, Ella Shehem Min Shlosha Osius, so it's the same thing, only with three letters. Kazan. I look later on, and actually he's going to bring an answer. I didn't see the answer, but he says in the topic that he's going to bring an answer why we have four in one case and we have three in the other. Zerabamul Chochma is like this, so he shows it to us. And the Muach Bina looks like this. It has a difference in the Vav. And just like the others, the Muach Chesed also has this same ending with the Vav. The Muach Gevurah looks like this. And the Vav looks like that. Shemas Muach Gevurah the Das, the Ima. So the Muach Gevurah the Ima, Dugmas Gevurah the Abba, it's similar to the Gevurah of Abba. Ela Shehim Shlosha Osius, but it's from three, it has only three letters. And he says, Kazam, the Chochma will be Aleph K, and then the double Vav. Bina is going to be Aleph, but the K changes. It's a KK, and then it goes Vav Vav. Chesed is going to be the Aleph, which is a K Aleph, and the Vav Vav again. Before the Aleph is Hey K, Vav Aleph Vav. Now, so we just sort of went through that real quickly. And on the drawing, you could see that these are the Geburos de Das right here. Okay, so the next one is Simonim the Shebas Amochin de Ima Kadei Shalo Sita. So then he brought Simonim to them. Ve'echtov Cheshbainim, so I'm going to write, he says, the count. I'm going to count them up, the gematrias. Chochma de Ima is Kasa, Kasa, Kamad, Kana. Saka Kol is going to be Olin 616. Right off the bat, I really don't know what to do with the numbers that he's about to give us, but he's pointing it out. Bina de Ima is Kof Mem Vav, Kof Mem Vav, Kuf Lam Zayin, Kuf Mem Aleph, Kulam Hem. They all come to the gematria of 570. Chesed de Ima is Kamach Kalach Kof Kal. We'll just say Kalach. He said Kulam Hem gets the gematria of 555. The word the Ima is like we see Kuf Lamed Ches, Kuf Lamed Gimel, Kuf Kaf Tes, Kuf Lamed Dalet. That comes to the number of 534. Now, last one, he said Vihide Saka Kol HaMochim. So if we count up all of the Mochim, the Abba, you're gonna have Aleph, and you're gonna have 1,599. Kol HaMochim the Ima Shnei Olafim. He says Shnei Olafim. There's 2,275. Sak Shneichem Yachad. Put them all together. What do you get? Heim Shlosh Olafim 3,874. So all of those numbers that he said, I'm going to read the Tiv and see if we got something a little bit more that we could get, because as you see in the bottom of this page, he says, going to say, Yivur kol elu hamochim heim kodem mechiluf, though these are the mochin kodem mechiluf. Now, just going to the Metzoehem, you see that in the middle here, between the two, he has the word chiluf. And just to point this out is that the way that we originally learned this, that looking at the Abba side, it would be ma de ma, and then it would be ben de ma. And then going over to the left, it would be ben de ben, and then the ma de ben. So he says these two middle parts, that's the language that we've been given previously. But in the middle part, they switch. So that the ben de ma becomes it goes up to the Abba side, that's in the female, the Imadika side, it goes up to there, and then the ben, what would it be? This would be the ben de ma moves down into the female side. That's from the male side, moves down to the female side. As they go into Zer Anpin, he's going to discuss that later. So let's just do what we have to do and go through the Kuf Lamed Dalet over here on page Kuf Tzadik Hey. See if there's any in-betweens that we can pick up some different ideas from this. Is that Ba'ata B'farish Rav as Seder Shemas HaMochin D'Zachem Mitzad Ima. Now we're going to talk about the side of Ima. And he said V'hinecha B'arba Mochim Sheyesh B'bina D'Zam Mitzad Ima Heim. So these are the four Mochin, he says. Arba B'Mochim Sheyesh B'Chochma D'Zam Mitzad Ima. So in the Chochma D'Zam there are four Mochin. That is on the side of Ima. Heim Arba Miluyan Akia. So they're the four Miluyim of Akia B'Ovish Shnei HaMochin the Chochma B'bina the Chochma. So that it comes out like this. The Chochma and B'bina the Chochma are going to be Heim Shemos Akia D'Milu Yudin. So there's going to be what we call Kasa. Mucha Chaz the Das the Chochma who Shem Akia B'Milu Yolofim. Mucha Gabur the Das the Chochma who Akia D'Milu Yihayin. So he said, "Ba'ata maybe Arav as Shemos HaMochin B'Shlemos," and now we're going to see the Mochin, and once again, here are the Mochin from the Mitzoehem, so we could see them there. Let me see if I could get better light on that. Okay, anyway. So he says, so where are we now? So he says, the Chachma, and he shows us on number Kuf Kaf Tes what Chachma looks like. And this is what it is. Aleph Lamed K K Yud Vav Vav K Yud. Am I in the right place? I don't know. I lost my way. Muach HaChochma Shal HaGevuros the Das. Or what did I do? What did I do wrong here? I'm in the wrong place. I was Kuf Lamed. So here I am. Arba Rabbi Yesh. We did that one. Va'atam. Every time I move off the page, I forget where I'm at if I don't make a mark. Kuf Lamed Vav. He says Va'ata Rabbi Mevi Rav as Shemus and Mochin B'Shleimos. Now we're going to see the mochin. He says these are Hamuch, the Chochma, the Zah, Shemitzad Ima, that Moach. He says, where is it? But once again, he says the Hamuch, the Chochma, the Zah, Shemitzad Ima, who Ekia, the Mihu Yudin, and it looks like this. Who Oile Gematria Kasa. Then he says the Hamuch, the Bina, the Chochma, the Zah, which is the one right below it, Shemitzad Ima, Gam Ku Ekia, B'Milu Yudin, so it's another Kasa. The Gam Hu Gematria Kasa, so it is the same Gematria. Then the Chesed, he says that the Hamuch, the Chasad, the Das, the Chachach, the Zat, the Mitzad Imo, who Ekir b'Milu Elofim Gazet, who Oida b'Gematria Kamuk. So then we come to the next one, the Hamuch, the Gabur, the Das, the Chachach, the Zat, the Mitzad Ima, that one. He says, who Shem Ekir b'Milu Hein. And it looks like this. Who Oida b'Gematria Konim. So it comes to the Gematria of 151. Now he goes. He says, "Now we're going to move all the way over to the left side. It's going to be the Bina. So we're going to see the. Where am I here? I lost the place again. Buach Bina. This is number Kuf Mem Aleph. Kuf Mem Aleph. Is that where we're at? Yeah. Kuf Mem Aleph. He said, "V'hine." V'hine Rav Shemus the Arba Ramocha the Bina the Zara the B'tzad Ima. Gam heim al derek hanizka b'shemus arba rabamucha dechachma dezah de'ima. It's just the same thing. Both in shemus arba the mochin shal chabina dezah the mitzad ima. So those four mochin there. Gam heim arba milui akya. They're going to be the same thing. Rak shehem arba miluyim, but there's the four miluim that we're talking about. Or each one is going to be shal shlosh osius aki bilvad. So it's only going to be changes in the first three letters. Bilvad v'cheserim aim esahei achrona b'shem akia. V'atach bevar harav es seder hamiloyim shal arba shemus akia shehei b'nei shlosh osius aki, which are those three letters. Now he's going to spell it out again. Shehelach hashemos yesh ba'arba mochim shal lebina dezad mitzadima. So he says it like this. Make sure I can see this. Okay. He says, "Muachachapa the bina dezah the b'tzad ima hu shem aki b'milu yudin," like, and it looks like this: Aleph Lamed Pei K Aleph Yud Vav Daled, but there's no K at the end. Who Ola b'gematria Kamu, so it comes to the number 146. Muach bina de bina, now the bina of bina dezah the b'tzad ima. Gam hu kamo muachachapa the bina goes the same way. Shuhu shem aki b'milu yudin kazeh, and it looks the same way. Who all the big gematria kamu. So there's two kamus, right? So then moving over to the next page, he says, Muach chesed the das, the bina, the zad, the mitzad ima, who shem aki b'milu alofim, like this. Who all the big gematria kalas, 137. So then we go to the next one, the Muach HaGavur, the das, the bina, the zad, the mitzad ima, that Muach, he says, who shem aki b'milui hayin kazeh. So it's aki. It has a milui of hayin, and it looks like this. Who ola b'gematria kuf mem aleph, the 141. So he said, going on, and this is all academic stuff, but this is the basic pattern, and we just want to go through it. So now we're in the ima dika side, and we're looking at the chasad and the das there. V'hine shemus arba ha'amochim shal lachaz the das the zechad the b'tzad ima. Hey mamish gamo ha'shemus shal arba ha'amochim the chasad the das the b'tzad abba. They're exactly the same. Shehem arba mini milui aqua. But they're also the minuim. There's another name here. It's not Eki anymore. It's the name aqua. Rak sheyesh chiluk bein ha'mochin sheb'tzad abba the bein ha'mochin the b'tzad ima. But there's a difference. It goes the same way as abba, but it's different. Ki b'mochin the b'tzad abba oz chasad the das heim shemu shal arba osius aqua. So he said ve'educh ve'elukan b'mochin the b'tzad ima. That was in abba. Now we're over on ima side. Az chasad the das heim shemu shel shlosh osius only, which would be aku. Rav. Let me make sure I can see this. Okay. V'ata misada Rav es hamiluyim shel arba chashemos v'shlosh osius aku. So we had a little introduction. He's saying it again. Sheyesh ba'arba mochin the chasad the das the b'tzad ima. So let's go over here. Just really would be the chasad the das. Here they are right here on the side of ima, and you could see from the Mitzoehem that you actually have just 3 letters there, but they're spelled out in a milui. So let's go to number Kuf Nun Gimel. Kuf Nun Gimel says Muach HaChochma Shel the chasad the das of the Chochma of the chasad the das. The das is there Amken the B'tzad Imo Hu Shem Aku B'milui Yudin Kazen. Then he said V'hu Ola B'gematria Kamach 148. So he says Muach Habida the chasad the das the zad the B'tzad Imo Hu Shem Aku. It's the name Aku B'milui Yudin. The Aleph it looks like this. That's the next Muach. V'hu Ola B'gematria Kalet 139. So then he says the muach chesed the chasad the das the zad the b'tzad ima hu shem aku b'milui alofim kazan. It looks like this, and it has a gematria hu all the gematria cow. So he's 130. So he says that the muach agabur is the chasad the das the zad the b'tzad ima hu shem aku b'milui yudin about havav. But the difference is that the vav at the end shehi chasera kazan. So but it's missing. It doesn't have a milui in it. Just has a double vav. Doesn't have a letter in the middle. Who ola b'gematria kalach. It's 138. So the atam b'bayar Rav as shemas arba mochin sheyesh b'mochin the gevur the das the zechad the b'tzad ima. Now he's going to talk about the gevurs the das. Shemas arba mochin sheyesh b'gevurs the das. So each moach, as we said before, has 4 mochin within it. So they start like this: the das, the zad, the b'tzad ima, heim kashemus arba mochin sheyesh ba'arba mochin the gevur the das. They're just the same way. The zad, the b'tzad abba, rak. He said, but there is a difference. So he says rak she'arba mochin sheyesh b'gevur the das the b'tzad ima heim shemos shel shlosh osius. Once again, we're only going with 3 letters. Masha ein came ba'arba mochin sheyesh b'gevur the das the zechad the b'tzad abba. Shehem Shemo Shel Arba Osius, which are names of 4 letters. So he said, Rav Heim Shemo Shel Shlosha Osius the Shebegavur the Das the Zah Shebetzad Ima. So he says a number Kuf Samach. He says Muach HaChochma the Gavur the Dat the Zah the Betzad Ima Hu Shem Aku B'milu Yudin. And the Oz Vav Chasera, but it's missing a gazan. But the Oz Vav is not going to have a complete milui. So it looks like this: Aleph Lamed Pei Ke Yud Vav Vav. Who Ola B'gematria Kalach 138. And then the bina is going to be a muach bina. The gevur the das the zah the b'tzad imo who shem aku b'milui heyan, and it comes out to be a milui of heyan. But the vav is missing, and it looks like this. Once again, the vav is missing. Okay, must be a commercial break that's taking place. Hashem is coming in, and he wants us to meditate a little bit on what we said. So we're on number Kuf Samet Bet, and we're coming to the end of this little shtickle. He says, Muach HaChesed the Gevur the Das the Zechad the B'tzad Ima Hu Shem Aku. It's the name Aku. B'milu Elofin V'oz Vav Chasera. And then once again we have a short Vav. It's just a double Vav 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 without an Aleph or a Hey or a Yud inside of it, or a Yud inside of it rather. Lu Ola B'gematria Kuf Kaf Tes 129. So he said, Gevur the Das the Zad the B'tzad Ima Hu Shem Aku B'milu Heyan V'hu Malaya Kazan. So it's also Malay. It looks like this. Here the Vav though has a Aleph in it. V'hu Ola B'gematria Khalid 134. So he says, "Ve'echta v'chshboinen v'ata rabivar harav cheshbon misbar kol moach." So, like I said before, I'm not sure what I would do with this, but here it is. He says, "V'ani medalgo ke'ez," but I'm going to skip it right now. V'od chazon moed. So he says, "I'm going to come. There could be a time for this. I'm going to come back later." Okay, so that let's stop here and let me make a mark on it, and then we can pick up. Uh, God willing, we'll come over here to the Sefer Tzniut. Let me just get this started.